Today I'm going to show you how to make this delicious Cherry Peach Cobbler, no sugar added. Hi everyone, I'm Tammy from the blog Nutmeg Notebook, where I teach people how to cook on a whole food plant-based diet. Today I'm going to show you how to make a peach cherry cobbler. Now this is something really simple and easy to make that I make sometimes for Tom and I. I posted it in my What I Ate in a Day the other day, and I got a lot of questions and comments, and people wanted to know, how do I make that? So I'm going to show you how I make it for Tom and I, just 2 servings. And because I wanted to get this up for you on YouTube before the 4th of July, because people wanted to make it for the 4th of July, I haven't yet perfected making it in a larger quantity. But if I was going to make more than 2 servings, I think I would just double this and maybe put it in a 8 or a 9-inch baking pan. And you could use a silicone baking pan like this would be great. I like to use the Corningware Grab-Its for Tom and I, because I just love that it has a handle. But I will tell you, this makes a very generous serving. If I was serving it to company, I would do half this size. So you could make it in individual ramekins, which is kind of fun because then all the juices stay in the bottom and everybody gets a nice juicy bowl full. So anyway, I'll show you how we make it in the Grab-It. Now, I went to the farmer's market this morning. I was going to get fresh peaches for it, but they didn't have any that were ripe. These are beautiful organic peaches from the Twin Peaks orchards here in Northern California, but unfortunately they're not going to be ripe for a few days, and I needed to do the video for you today, so I'm using frozen. So this is from Whole Foods. It's a 10-ounce bag of organic frozen peaches. I would say that this is about 2.5 peaches worth right here. So if you're going to use fresh, which would be perfectly fine, use about 2.5 peaches. And really, it's whatever you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and divide the peaches up into my 2 ramekins. And like I said, this makes a really big, generous serving for us. So we'll eat a light dinner and then enjoy this. So we've got the peaches, and then I'm using cherries, frozen cherries, organic frozen cherries from Costco. And they don't carry these year-round, but they do have them right now. So I bought a couple bags so that we can put them in the freezer and have them for a while. So here's 1 cup. And another. That looks pretty good. I think I want just a couple more on this first one. I just kind of like the top to have some on covered. Oh, and I forgot the vinegar. I'm going to duck into the pantry and grab my vinegar. And now I'm just going to add about a teaspoon of this California balsamic fig vinegar to each one. I just like the little boost of flavor that it adds. You don't have to use it. You could, or if you have a different flavor that you like, you could use any flavor in this. I just happen to like the California balsamic fig one. It's delicious. Now for our topping, here's what I use. This is a mix that I make, and it's my quinoa banana oat muffin mix. And I mix these up. I'll do 3 or 4 of these mixes at a time. That way when I want to go and make the muffins, I already have everything measured out, because if I'm getting out all the ingredients, why not measure out all the dry ingredients times 4? So that I don't have to do it every time that I go to make muffins. I also use this mix for the jammies, the oat and jam bars, and the mini jammies that we make for our granddaughter in the little mini muffin pans. So, and I've got links to those and YouTube videos for those as well. So I just keep this in my pantry. And so that I need to do my banana first. So this is about a 6-ounce banana with the peel. And since we're not using any fat in this, and I'm not using sugar. I want a really spotted banana for the sweetness, and then the moisture that it provides is going to make up for not having any fat in this. So I'm just going to take a fork and mash it. It's a really ripe one, so it's very soft. It's mashing quite easily. But it's not going to provide quite enough moisture, so I know that I'm going to need a little bit more, and so I'm going to use some applesauce. Now, if you want this to be sweeter, instead of applesauce, you could use date paste, and that would work really well, and it would add liquid that you need, and then it would also add more sweetness. But this is plenty sweet for us. Now, the muffin mix does already have cinnamon and nutmeg and cardamom in it, but I just want it to be a little bit stronger flavored in this, so I'm going to add some extra cinnamon. And this is the Saigon cinnamon. This is from Local Spicery up in Marysville, California. And I'm just going to add about a half a teaspoon just to give it a little more kick. The cinnamon does make it taste sweeter without adding any sugar. And then it has vanilla bean powder in it, but I'm going to add just a little bit more because this is a dessert, so I want it to be a little bit sweeter. So I'm going to add about a quarter of a teaspoon of the vanilla powder. And I can link to these down below the video. And then a little bit of fresh nutmeg. If you've never had fresh nutmeg, you are in for a real treat because it tastes amazing. The aroma is incredible. Now, if you just have the kind that comes in the jar, that's okay. Use some of that too. And I'm adding about a quarter of a teaspoon of that. And this is to flavor, you know, whatever you like. Do it to your taste. So I'm going to stir that up. And then I add a cup of my muffin mix. And this is, I'll link to the recipe for you. It is oats and steel cut, quick cooking steel cut oats and quinoa, either ground or quinoa flakes. So we'll do a nice cupful here. And we'll stir that up. Like I said, this is going to make a very generous serving for both of us. Now you could have this for breakfast if you want. If you really wanted to make it decadent, you could add some banana ice cream. Just use your Yonanas or your Vitamix or a food processor. So this is what it looks like. It's very moist. And I'm just going to try to evenly divide this in half. And then I just put it on top of my fruit. Now you could do this with whatever kind of fruit you want. It's equally delicious with blueberries and peaches. You can make it with apples. I've made it with peaches and left the skin on the peaches. That way we're getting all that fiber. And we're going to bake this in a preheated 350-degree oven. And how long it takes is going to depend on how big your containers are. But in the Grab-Its, it usually takes about 45 minutes to make these. But you see how really simple and easy this is. And it's more of a cobbler. It's not going to be like a crumble or apple crisp because we didn't use any fat in the topping, and so it's not going to get crispy. Just want to get all the last little bit of that goodness. So usually it takes about 45 minutes, like I said, so that the topping gets cooked all the way through. So now we're just going to put these in the oven, and we'll show you what they look like when they come out. So we're back, it's out of the oven, and it smells amazing in here. So this is what it looks like. It's still piping hot. You can see there's the juices in the bottom there. Now, if you want those juices to thicken up, you could add a little bit of chia seeds before you bake it. Like, maybe a half a tablespoon, a couple teaspoons in each one, and it would thicken it up. But I don't mind that little bit of juice. So you saw how simple and easy it is. You can use whatever fruit you want. If you want it to be a little bit sweeter, then use some sweeter fruits. Like you can add a little bit of pineapple to it because that's super sweet, or mango to it. You can make different combinations. You don't have to be limited to just cherries and peaches. Use whatever fruit you have on hand. And of course, if you have fresh, ripe peaches, use those. I couldn't get any today, so I did use the frozen, and I went ahead and used frozen cherries. And it's so delicious, you guys. I want to show you what it looks like inside. So I'm gonna just dig in here. Get me a piece of peach. You can see a little bit of the cobbler topping, a little bit of cherry. I don't know, Tom, do you want to come in closer on this? It's so good. I can't wait to take a bite. I guess this one's going to be mine because I'm going to take a bite out of it now. It's so good. Delicious. It's just right. That little added cinnamon, nutmeg, and a little more vanilla powder was just perfect. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope you'll make some cobbler, and I hope you'll give me a thumbs up for the video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you won't miss new videos, and click on the bell that you can see underneath the video, because that's how you'll get notifications whenever I do a new video. Also, visit the blog at nutmegnotebook.com and subscribe there, because subscribers get 2 exclusive recipes, and that's the only way you can get them is by subscribing. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Tammy from Nutmeg Notebook, and I help you get healthy and stay healthy, one meal at a time.